Sharks fans! My name is Jacob Boyd. I'm here to present to you guys today day 2 of development camp with the San Jose Sharks. All right, Sharks fans, we have a couple of notes today that I wanted to go over. Big news in the San Jose Sharks front office. We're going to go ahead and start with the coaching staff. The coaching staff, Ryan Warsofsky, has put around himself. Obviously, the Brian Wiseman assistant coach was on the staff last year, ran the power play. I thought that was going to be the case. Doug Huda, who I think is a great assistant coach, and then Jeff Ulmer, all guys that are going to, enhance this decor. I mean, I know Hoda really worked with forget the guy's name, but he was a 70-point guy last year. It's just eluding me right now. But he really developed him well, young kid. So we're hoping that, the likes of like Sam Dickinson, obviously right now, he's probably not going to make the team, even though most likely he could probably make this team, even as it stands, just because of how good he is. He's going to get development time, so no need to rush Sam Dickinson. But Doug Huda, great pickup. Obviously, we knew Thomas Spears was going to be back, goaltending coach. He's been a long time, San Jose Sharks goaltending coach, and good to see Spears. He's back. Nick Gialdini, he's back for the video coach, and then a new Cody Ward as the assistant video coach. So that's just a few, coaches that Ryan Warsofsky has put in place around him to, help this team move forward in the coming year. So we'll see how the coaching staff does. You got a little mix of, I would say these guys are very young for coaching staff. Huda's like around 47 years old, so he's kind of like the elder statesman on this staff, really. So a lot of 30-year-olds and this in here to develop these young kids and relate to them. So cool, good on Ryan Warsofsky. I'm assuming these guys would be behind the bench tomorrow, hopefully, to coach in the prospect scrimmage. But I wouldn't necessarily say that they will. I still think John McCarthy and his staff will be behind both benches. We'll see. It's going to be interesting for me to see if they're going to be behind the bench or not. But moving forward, I thought this was pretty crazy news. Obviously, Shang Peng with San Jose Hockey Now reported that, and Curtis Pachelka also reported that, they had a Ryan Clough sighting yesterday in the press box is what I call it, at the Sharks Ice. And, Ryan Clough was there, and we didn't know at what capacity he was going to be. Was he going to be in like a coaching thing, because he was like an assistant coach with the New Jersey Devils, but an advisor with the New Jersey Devils as well. So I'm interested to see. So he gained the title of assistant GM to Mike Grier. So interesting news. I don't know what an assistant GM technically does. Maybe he just oversees what Mike Grier does and, gives feedback to Grier and things of that nature, and maybe just a mentorship thing. Both are very young for like in the GM chair. So maybe the Sharks are just kind of grooming both of these guys to, see the everyday nuances of GM and what it means So interesting move. Obviously, he's a longtime San Jose Shark, just a gritty type of player. So hopefully, all these moves that Mike Grier's done, bringing in grit and compete and everything. That's what Ryan Clough was as a player. So really cool to have more ex and former Sharks on this, I would say, coaching staff / GM mentorship deal. Obviously bringing back Patty and Jumbo, and obviously Nabby's been here, Ricci's been here. So, quite a few people for past Sharks. I'm just wondering when we're going to be signing Joe Pavelski for a new role inside the San Jose Sharks. So that would be pretty interesting, and we'll see what happens. But getting right into it with the Sharks development camp, I went again today, and then I'm going to go ahead and start with team. Let's see here. Who should I start with? Team White. Team White, you had Kasper Halttunen. He was, and then I want to say, Macklin Celebrini was on this. Obviously, Celebrini still showed me the compete, still showed me that he was the best on the rink. Again, you had Celebrini doing tipping drills with all of his teammates, and he was the best at that. You can tell how he bends, he uses his height and he adjusts with his he adjusts his height very well. He doesn't try to jab at the puck. When knocking a puck down out of the air, he really adjusts his height instead of his stick. And I can tell that the coaching staff was really, trying to tell the other players how to do it. And Mac was just putting on a clinic out there. And some of the other guys were having, Kasper Halttunen, man, that guy cannot tip a puck. Unfortunately, he does everything else on the hockey rink, but he cannot tip a puck, and he could learn a thing or two from Mac, because it was hard to watch at points where Kasper Halttunen was just getting frustrated at himself, because he couldn't do it. It's not for everybody. But he just looked very tall, and he wasn't using, his body to feel the puck, I guess. It's hard to describe on how to tip a puck, because, just kind of standing there like a statue and hoping that it hits your stick is not a good recipe for success. And I thought Kasper had a horrible time, but, one part of his game that he needs work on. So that's just something that I would, see Kasper working on throughout the summer, because it does need some work. Philip Bjugstad looked very good again today. I'm super excited about Bjugstad with the Barracuda. I think this player will be able to progress quite a bit this year and show the coaching staff that he's a 3 to 4 in the center role. He could be a third line center, he could be a fourth line center. I just think that big body plays and his strength that he's showing throughout camp is, really impressive. And his shot is actually a lot harder than last year. I didn't see Kasper Halttunen shooting the puck. I'm sorry, Kasper Halttunen. I saw Kasper Halttunen shooting the puck, and that's a rocket. Philip Bjugstad, I didn't see him shooting the puck that hard, and he really, really proved something to me this camp in 2 days. Obviously, I want to see what he does in the prospect scrimmage tomorrow, but super excited. Igor Chernyshov, I didn't really see him, too much because I was really watching Macklin, Celebrini, and Haltonen today. But Chernyshov does know how to tip the puck. Like I saw him in the tipping drills. I saw him on the cross ice one timers. He does well. I wouldn't say that he's proficient at tipping pucks because he is a little high in his stance. But I think all the young players can really work on that. Moldoni, I thought he was poor today. He's a compete guy, but I thought I would see more from him. He didn't stand out from anybody. He actually was one of the worst players on the rink today. Colin Graff looked really good today. I mean, whether it was his passing, his shooting, he can tip the puck. Like they were doing a lot of tipping drills today. But just compete was high today. I really was impressed by Colin Graff. David Klee, he's just hasn't done it for me this go around, even in day 2. Day 1 was a little clunky, but day 2, I didn't like his breakout awareness. I thought he could, drive the net, stop in front of the net, tip pucks. He just kind of was going to the sides. So I would like to see a little bit more from Klee moving forward. Mitchell Russell was another standout guy. I thought Russell did really well today. I made an emphasis to watch him, and his shot is very good. His hockey IQ is very good. I hope that he does get stronger, because if he gets stronger, he has the skill to play in the NHL. It's more so, can he compete in the dirty areas, and will he go there? Obviously, with these drills, not a lot of the times they do that. They were trying to work on going in the net and getting inside leverage. But the D were really boxing out today, because I think it was a kind of a defensive drill, and they were just kind of knocking the offensive players down quite a bit. But when they go to the net, anyways, I thought Mitchell Russell did look good on all of his one-timers, his passing, very, very well done by Mitchell Russell, who's probably going to be with the Barracuda next year. You got Macklin, Celebrini. Obviously, I touched on him a little bit already, but best player on the ice, you can tell. Gavin O'Connell, another standout day from Gavin O'Connell. I mean, this kid he hits the post a lot, but it's a hard post. And when I say post, I'm okay with hitting post. I think that means your shot is on point, and he's doing it in tough areas. Maybe his passing could get a little bit better, but I thought O'Connell's compete is he reminds me of Macklin Celebrini's compete. He wants to win every shift, and that's what you want in guy his size, and that's what I look for, at least. Compete, and are you going to win the puck over another? He does that, and he also has the shot. He goes to dirty areas. I really like this kid, and I think he could be good. Donovan Villanueva Hall, he's kind of a stockier, just a big dude, but he does look a little clunky. He looks a little slower than some of the other guys, but his compete is high. He shoots the puck over the net a little too much for my liking, but if he hones in that shot, it'll be good enough for the Barracuda. Lucas Vanderboys, I actually didn't even see him that much today, as I was looking at some of the other guys, but I did notice him yesterday, and he did really well. But today, I'm not gonna say much about him, because I wasn't really paying attention on him. But then Luca Cagnoni had a really good day. I thought he had a poor first day. I thought he was one of the more disappointing defensemen, but he was really physical. He, you know, like it's like he wanted to like this was his defensive day. I thought they did a little bit more defensive type of drills where, boxing out in front of the net, really to show more defensive skill and breakout and stuff like that. Cagnoni, you can see that he can do it all. I do think that Cagnoni likes time and space. He doesn't like to be pressured all that much and like get sticks in his feet and stuff like that. But he really did well under pressure today, and I'm glad that I got to see that because he did compete very, very like against bigger dude like Musty, like not Musty. I'm sorry, Haltonen. He like took down Haltonen a couple times, meaning like not just a penalty type. Like he put him down, and I really like to see that from a smaller player. Michael Fisher, his skating like all obviously stands out to me, but some of his defensive responsibilities were a little lacking today. Axel Landon, probably one of his he did okay yesterday. Didn't really like his game today. He was strong but lacked foot speed. And then Eric Polkamp, I thought yesterday was a lot better for Polkamp. He had a lot more energy than today, but he was solid. He didn't give up any type of like I thought his odd man like 2-on-1s when he was defending was pretty good. His spacing was good. He took time and space away from the shooter and then took also the pass away pretty well, as best as he could. Sometimes the offensive players are just going to get in really good areas that is really hard to defend. And there was like one or two that got through, but honestly, I thought Polkamp did, pretty well. Leo Salim Valenius, I think he's been okay. Like he hasn't been poor. He hasn't been like stand out throughout camp. I was hoping that he could, really stand out with his skating. I haven't even seen that yet, but maybe in a game I'll see it. Maybe he just turns it on. Like he doesn't do anything spectacular, but he hasn't done anything like wrong that I've seen where I'm like, damn, I wish I could see a little more from him. Well, I do want to see a little bit more from him, but I mean, like, it's more so, can you up the intensity level a little bit? I feel like he's being too soft. I want to see a little bit more compete, I guess. Braden Haish, I always see him, man. He's always knocking somebody down. He's always using his big body, his big frame. I do like this kid. I think he's going to try to compete for the AHL playing time. You notice him a lot on the ice, and that's what you want from a defenseman when you're not like getting the puck a ton. He's not going to be like a great, shooter or anything like that. He's more of like a defensive defenseman, I would say. So more to come on him. And then Nate Miskey, he was up and down today. There was some things that I like about his game. Others are a little lackadaisical. And for a guy like him to have a big body like him, I want to see him be a little bit more physical, though. Krona and Romanov, I thought were okay. I thought the other goalies were, again, better than them, and for another day. So we'll see. I mean, that's supposed to be our 1-2 punch with the Barracuda. And I'm seeing that these rookies and unrestricted free agents are doing better than them, which is unfortunate. But we'll see how camp progresses. Next, we have Team Teal, where you have Will Smith. Will Smith was really good. I thought, he started off where he couldn't tip a puck, and I was like, uh-oh, like, fourth overall pick, can't tip pucks. What's going on here? Anyways, in the middle of that drill, he like started getting frustrated, I think, at himself. I don't know. Maybe I'm just completely wrong, but he then got like every single tip he can possibly imagine, and even tough ones. And I was like, wow, you can see the skill on, his hand-eye coordination start to come through, and that guy can, do it all. I mean, he shoots the puck. It's not a hard shot. It's really not. He just places it. Like, he did another shot that low, like just above the pad, right below the glove kind of shot in the corner left part of the goal, like blocker side. And he just knows how to find that hole in the goalie. And he's just impressive with that shot, even though it's not that hard. I mean, it's hard, but like, I would say it's not as hard as like Musty or anything like that. But getting on to Musty, you could tell this guy can shoot the puck. He has the body of an NHL player. In my opinion, he could probably play this year in the NHL. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if the Sharks, brought him through 9 games to start the season, and then ship him back to Sudbury. But with all the signings Mike Grier has done this offseason, with the trades that he's done, it's going to be hard for Musty to like get in the lineup, just because they have so many veterans like Gunstrom and Carl Gunstrom, and then Ty Dellandrea and Barclay Goodrow. Like, those minutes are being eaten up. The only way, and then Luke Cunnin signing, all these players have re-signed at least for a year. So I'm pretty sure that Musty will definitely make the team next year. But he did say that he's trying to come for a job. And the only unfortunate part is that Musty cannot go to the AHL. It's an age thing. It's a rights thing with Sudbury. So unfortunately, we will not see Quentin Musty even on the AHL Barracuda. He would either A, have to go back to Sudbury, or B, stay with the Sharks. And it would be up to San Jose to make that happen. So we'll see, but I'm pretty sure he'll go back to Sudbury this year, just because of the logjam at wing. Next, you have David Edstrom. David Edstrom actually had a sneaky good day. He was up and down for me, but he had a sneaky good day where, he really proved to me more. Like, I thought his shot was a lot harder today. He picked his spots. He scored a lot of goals. He got into the dirty areas. There are times where he kind of was weak in front of the net as well. Needs to learn how to tip some pucks. He was a little poor at that, but overall a better day than yesterday. So hopefully, just each day Edstrom gets better. One note on Edstrom was he is going back to his SHL team, so he will not be with the Barracuda next year, where I thought he would be. But with all the new signings that the Barracuda have done this year, or this offseason, they're going to send Edstrom back for a little bit more quality time, and get more playing time in the SHL. Hopefully get a bigger role on that team, and we'll see how he progresses over there. But overall, decent day for him. Cam Lund was a little bit better today. I thought he had a poor day yesterday. He was one of my poor performers in yesterday's session, but I would say that he was middle of the pack this go around, and showed a little bit of a shot, showed a little bit of toughness today. Still, I want to see a little bit more grit from him. He doesn't show it every shift. Like, when you're at these dev camps and coaches are trying to get the most out of you and trying to see what you're going to bring on a day-to-day basis. You don't want to, stand back and be on the back foot, I would say. It's a time for learning. It's a time for trying new things. It's a trying to get time for people to get out of their shell. And I just need a little bit more from him, a little bit more exuberance, a little bit more excitement from him, because he's just so low, even keel, and needs to get a little grit going. For a big guy too. Anyways, Ethan Cardwell looks like Ethan Cardwell. I keep saying it. He brings it every day. He's the same player. Like, he does not change. I don't think he has more to give, to be honest. Like, he gives everything he does on the rink every time, and you love that type of player. But like, maybe in like a playoff setting, can he bring more? I don't know. So we'll just see how he progresses. But I'm good with Ethan Cardwell. I love his game. I think he's going to be great for the Barracuda next year. Luke Granger, he actually had some standout points with some of his shots. A couple woos when he made a couple of those shots that he made. So good for Luke. I noticed him a few times, and not too many sightings that I seen aside from that. But those were good. Carson Wetch, you could tell he's young. He's developing. He brings the grit, like I said last podcast, but a little bit of skill issues. He can work on some skill, and he will. And it's just going to take time to develop. This guy's going to be a project, and he's going to throw the weight around. So I'm really excited to see him in this prospect scrimmage. Not necessarily probably scoring too much, but see what he can do with throwing the weight around and dropping the gloves. And probably going to be the first one to drop the gloves tomorrow. So kind of excited. Let's see here. Reese Laubach had a better day than yesterday. I thought he was pretty poor yesterday. He showed some flashes in terms of breakouts and knowing where to be in 3-on-2 situations on the rush, and that was really good to see. Brandon Svoboda, poor day. Probably one of the players that I wanted to see a lot more from. It looked like he was having fun out there. He was smiling. He was, having a good time, even with a poor performance. But, really needs to work on how to tip a puck. I think he was probably one of the worst at it. The coaches, you could see Reach and Marlowe and a few guys trying to work with him, even getting him more work with it. When it was a 2-on-1 and one guy has to go to the net and try to tip a puck, he missed it every time, unfortunately. But, other than that, his one-timers were pretty off today too. Just a bad day. I wouldn't take too much stock into Svoboda and having a bad day, but I wonder what he's going to do on the prospect scrimmage, see if he can turn it up. Brendan Gorman, this guy has compete at the highest level. I really love his play in both day one and now day two. He really is showing me something. Brendan Gorman, Gavin O'Connell have really, showed me that they want a job with the Barracuda, and I think he could get it, man. I with his play, his compete, his tenacity, I even thought his shot was good. So, and he goes to the net hard, and maybe he doesn't tip it every time, but he's mucking it up. And a guy like that, if you're mucking it up, and you may get a rebound or two and score a goal. And that's how you score goals in the NHL. It's how you score in the AHL. So good for Brendan. He had a really good day again today. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about the defense. Sam Dickinson looked phenomenal. His skating still is just with ease. His puck control is really good in terms of like under pressure. His breakout was very, very solid. So good on Sam Dickinson. This guy is the real deal. I did notice him cutting a tomato. I mean, if you guys haven't seen it, go to Twitter or wherever, YouTube, and watch him cutting a tomato. It's god awful. So it's one thing he can't do, but you guys got to see it. And then you have Matthias Havlid. I thought Matthias Havlid was okay. Sometimes Matthias, he's a good skater. His gap control is a little off for some reason, and I would like him to, cut the time and space away from the offensive player a little bit more. He kind of gives that offensive player too much room, and he doesn't want them to get by him wide, but that you need to push him wide. So he lets that inside cut a little too much go. Gannon Larocque, to me, was poor today. I thought he can be more physical. I think he could skate okay, but for some reason I hadn't seen it yet, and we'll see. I didn't see Colton Roberts today for some reason. Maybe that was just on me, but I just didn't see him. Same with Eli Barnett. I did not see him. I did see Greg Chapchin. I thought Chapchin did pretty well, actually, in most drills. Didn't really stand out to me where I'm not looking crazy at his footwork or, his breakouts as I'm looking at Sam Dickinson and Havlid a little bit more. But Chapchin hasn't done anything where I'm like, oh, I probably don't like that or he needs to work on this. So I'm actually kind of surprised that he did so well, actually. More so that I didn't notice anything a bad quality from him. So that's good. And then Bushler, I thought was very slow. And I just wonder if he has the foot speed, to even be an AHL guy. So I don't know what his plans are, but he was a little slow for me. And people were kind of beating him wide. People were beating him to the inside. So not a good day for him. One of the more poor defensive games that I've seen in today's practice. And then Christian Kirsch and Gabriel Carrier. Kirsch looked fantastic. The goalie that we got in like the 4th or 5th round. And Carrier did pretty well, actually, in his stint in the goal too. So these two goalies by far have been the better goalies thus far in camp, but obviously it's just practice and they're just kind of getting their feet wet. But interested to see what the goalies will do in the prospect scrimmage and how well they do. I know we need an influx of talent in that pipeline, so hopefully Kirsch can really do well tomorrow. But yeah, I went over all the prospects again today. Hopefully everybody got a lot out of what I had to say and what I had to see today in development camp day 2. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Peace.